I just made a 20-minute video that I had to delete because some guy just fucking went off. Oh, I just went off. You know how frustrating it is to be an educated person and be someone that's had a career, and your voice doesn't matter within that career, even though you're trying to help people. Oh, it's so frustrating. So frustrating. Can you imagine Jesus trying to explain to people what a cell phone was back then? Or Jesus explaining what electricity is to people? You're supposed to meet people where they're at and meet people at their intelligence levels. Oh, I'm being tested though, because I just, you think about, like George Carlin said, you think about how stupid the average person is, and you realize that half of them are stupider than that. I'm questioning the integrity and the intelligence of the United States, specifically the Justice Department. You know, you get someone that's appointed Attorney General that received financial contributions, campaign contributions along her way from Florida, and now is put in a position who all along since 2013 has always been against medical marijuana for whatever fucking reason. Excuse me. And the person that appointed her, when asked point blank, are you going to make marijuana non-Schedule 1? Yeah, we can do that. And then she denies it and doesn't change it. And the Roberts guy, head of the Justice Department, does nothing. The science community in the last 3 years, has enough to put on Google AI that the endocannabinoid system is a biological system of the human body. It's recognized. Help me understand the logic here. If somebody told you that your nervous system, something could help your nervous system that was 100% natural, grows indigenous all over the world, it's recognized by their doctors, yet the government bureaucrats make it illegal and punish you for having it and want you to take pharmaceuticals instead, which are fake, all for profit, all because they're getting financial donations in their campaigns by pharmaceutical companies. And the pharmaceutical market is worth $1.7 trillion, and no one wants that to disappear because that's a lot of money that disappears. How do you approach that with people? How do you approach people that are educated that are missing a vital system of their body? A system that they've identified that brings your body back to homeostasis. Google is the cannabinoid system real, and then type in Harvard and read the Harvard Health that says the endocannabinoid system is the main system of the body, and it brings your system, everything back to homeostasis, and it's being discovered and it's being researched right now. But because the United States government holds the patent since 1990, meaning that they've known since 1990 that the cannabinoid system is real. 1990, the United States government puts a patent. They hold the patent on all medical modalities for cannabis since 1990. Here we are in 2025 and it's still fucking illegal federally. (1776) America. Do you realize that the legislative branch of the government, there's 3 branches of the government? Executive branch, the most vocal one. The legislative branch consists of 535 people. These people are responsible for modifying and making new laws. 535 people. And when it comes to medical marijuana and marijuana being taken off in Schedule 1, out of these 535 people, 60-70% of them received financial donations to their campaigns from pharmaceutical companies and healthcare companies and companies that don't want marijuana because their services disappear. What is the definition of political corruption? Why is a person like Elon Musk allowed to donate $250 million to elect president? Do you realize that this president that was elected, they spent the most money to elect this person? The most money ever. Out of any presidential term, the most ever to elect this person. He didn't fund it himself. Remember the last time he said he was going to pay for it himself? Why is he worth so much more money now than he was then? What's the definition? I mean, if you look at a definition of political corruption, since January 1st, this one president of our United States making $400,000 a year his income, his wealth has grown by $500 million because of his cryptocurrency? How is that allowed? Legally, how is that allowed? Because if it was anyone else, it would not be allowed. And you people know that. If Barack Obama was president and Obama said he wanted to make a cryptocurrency, people would have a fucking fit about it. You know I'm right. Why is it this one person has this relationship with Israel? Why was his name on it? Why was his face on a coin? Why does the United States send Israel $3.9 billion every year? Why does Israel use about $2 billion of that dollars to buy weapons and then fire them at other countries like the 4th of July fireworks? Why are those weapons always American made? Why is the American government have the largest contracts going to defense contracts? Why are we always building weapons? If the military is not fighting any wars right now, then why are we always building new weapons? It's an old energy. See, the old energy is gone. The old energy is ending. You know, the days of building up these big weapons and these big militaries and then selling off your stockpiles to smaller countries for money, and then these other countries start wars and then America goes and joins the war. No, those days are over. We can see, we're transparent. The videos, the computers, the phones. I'm in Bangor, Maine. People are going to see me all over the world. And know that I can see you. Lived. I lived. Reversed, devil, I. Looking at the clock right now, 8:58, John. I am. 8:59, John. Stoned. 9:03, John. I am all I am. I'm Ryan. My name is Ryan, for you people that don't know me. I'm 52 years old. I was born in Milo, Maine, in a hospital that doesn't exist anymore, in a little town of maybe 2,000 people. Grew up in Hamden, Maine. My mom and dad split when I was 5. My dad married, had another family. I never knew them, didn't see them. They didn't want to see me. I was married. I got married at 21. Child at 22. College. Later in life, I didn't go to college until, let's see, I think I got married at 21. Jacob was born 22. 23 years old. Went to school when I was 23 or 24. Yeah, 23. Graduated when I was 28. It took 5 years. Took 5 years going nights and weekends. Husson University, business administration. Took 4 to 5 classes a semester for 5 years. Because I worked full time. I worked 40 plus hours a week at Anthem Blue Cross in sales and marketing. And I was building my sales career. Needed my business degree to get into pharmaceuticals. I achieved my business degree. Had 2 kids along the way. Lived in Bangor. Bought a house, built a house. Lost the house when I became disabled. Built the house in 2006, at the height of the market. 2010, market crashed. I was told that my house was now worth $75,000 less than I built it for. And the bank wouldn't do anything for it. I filed bankruptcy. Wife and I split up. We got back together a year later, got remarried. She left a year after that with the kids. Just she couldn't take the marijuana. She couldn't take because I didn't do pharmaceuticals. I quit all my pharmaceuticals. So you know how the trial. If people know that smoke weed now. If you smoke weed, you know you say a lot of things. Sometimes strains hit you just right, and thoughts pop into your head, and you do some weird things, and you say some things like, I told my daughter I was going to win the lottery one night. I was so sure I was going to win the lottery, and drove down to the store, bought a ticket, and was so excited, and I'm like planning my life out. And next morning, woke up, and she's like, "Did you win the lottery?" And I look at my tickets, and I didn't have one fucking number. Not one number. It's like, ooh, that was my first, like, okay. What the fuck was that? So I just distance myself from people. I struggle being around people because here in order to be functional and to be standing and doing stuff, I had to be stoned, and I was the only one stoned. And when you're only one stoned in a world that no one's stoned, you don't fit in. So I had to learn. I had to learn how to smoke weed and vape and do it in the daytime. And I don't drive. I haven't driven in over a year. My legs go numb when I sit in the car, and especially when my legs stretched out. So my challenge is in the garage. It's paid off. I go and visit it. I'll take the car cover off in it. It's a black, it's a red line. It's a red line SRT. Mopar, tinted windows, SRT rims, black interior. DVD screen, had Goodfellas in it when I bought it. I got my license back. My license was taken away for medical reasons because I've got a 2-level lumbar fusion, spinal cord stimulator, and you tell your doctor you can't feel your legs and they have to report it. So I wish I knew that back then. But so I got my license back and said, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy myself a car. Went on Car Gurus, Capital One financing, and said, fuck it, let's find something good. Found a Car Vision in Pennsylvania, and it was a 2014 Challenger, red line. It's like 12.5. It wasn't that much. I'm like, it had 90,000 miles on it, but it looked really nice. And so I called them. I'm like, interested in this car? And they're like, when you want to come take it for a test drive? And I'm like, I live in Maine. You can be honest with me? And the guy's like, yeah, we're an honest dealership. We're the top dealership in Ohio. Yeah, okay, I want the car. I'm like, I want you to deliver it to me. He's like, fine. Paid $600. Easy as that. Bought the car, just delivered in my driveway. Didn't even talk to the guy. Just the guy dropped it off and it was on a flatbed and put the keys in it, papers in it, done. That was my best car experience. So that was 5 years ago. Yeah, 2020. It was right when COVID was just, everything was starting to open back up. Or close. No, open back up. Something to open back up. Because the state of Pennsylvania was closed when they just reopened. The state of Ohio was just reopened to do the paperwork. And that's why they gave me like a 90-day transfer plate because the thing was closed. But I bought it at 91,000 miles and I got a notice from the Carfax. I had it serviced 3 years ago at 2 years ago at Rockcliffs in Hamden. Just had the fluids changed and Just maintenance. I get a notice in my email saying, is your mileage still the same on your Challenger? 2 years later, it is. They're in the garage. It's all right, humidity control garage, and like I said, I go out there and look at it, and that's what we do. So Hamden police just drove by. They've been at my house like fucking 10 times. Not for me. It's always for something else. It's always for, I live with a widow, and she's got a 17-year-old girl, say no more. And there's some behavior issues there. So that's tough. And there's 4 dogs. And now we have 2 19-year-olds that one just graduated high school, and they have no place to live, but they don't have any work ethic. Why is that for this generation? They want to do stuff, but they don't have they're always here at the house. I don't understand that. I was a worker, and until I became disabled, that was the hardest thing for me when I became disabled was, what the fuck am I gonna do with myself? And you can only watch so much TV, and you can only play so many fucking PlayStation games. And then it's like, then I started realizing that, fuck, I'm 270 pounds, I'm on the couch all the time, I'm eating all the time, I'm eating bad food, I'm telling me I have sleep apnea, they're telling me that I have major depressive disorder, they're telling me all this shit that I need to go on pills. I was on 9 fucking pills. One night I went to bed, and I was married at the time, high as fuck. I went down to the basement. I've only had 2 times in my life that I've been scared, like spiritually scared. Well, this was one of them. I used to test weed. I had a grower, a medical marijuana patient. I had a grower in Ellsworth who grew weed. And with my pharmaceutical background, he asked me if I'd test it and just do like a flavor profile and just rank them 1 through 10 on what he grew. Sure. So we bought a little machine, tested it, and I'm good at analytics, so I like it, I enjoy it. So I was downstairs testing the weed, and I don't know, 10 o'clock at night, and it was full moon, and I went outside, and I'm like, I need a sign from the universe that fucking spirits are real, and everything is real, and just show me something, show me that you're fucking real. That's what I said. Ask and you shall receive, Matthew 7:7. So I go outside, light up like a 1 gram pre-roll, and I usually didn't smoke the whole thing back then, but that night I did, and it was I think it was Northern Lights. It was a good one. So I smoked it. I'm looking up at the moon. I'm like, okay, nothing's happening. I go inside and I grab my phone, and I have music on my phone, and I have like a playlist on a bunch of songs, and it was on I think it was on YouTube, and it was like a playlist with like 200 and something songs. And I usually just hit shuffle. It goes. First song that came up was Stairway to Heaven, Led Zeppelin. You know how that begins. Well, yeah, I love Led Zeppelin, so I grew up on Led Zeppelin. I grew up on Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, Metallica. That's my sweet spot. That's my high school. That's my Thunderstruck. Money Talks, Hell's Bells. I love Metallica. I love AC/DC. So, song plays, Stairway to Heaven. Like, okay. I couldn't think nothing of it. Hit shuffle. Next song that plays is Cashmere. Yeah, that's fucking odd. So me being the analytical mind saying, how many fucking Led Zeppelin songs do I have on here? So I went through the list and saw that there was 3. There's only 3 Led Zeppelin songs in the entire list. Okay. So I'm like, well, if there's only 3, then I hit shuffle again. What's the chance that the 3rd one's going to pop up? And I made sure that my selection was just on random shuffle, and it wasn't on, pick a artist and then play all the songs. So I'm like, okay, pie, baked. Like, I'm looking for a sign. You know, I got that ask for a sign. And all of a sudden, I hit the shuffle. The song that starts playing is For What Is and What Shall Never Be by Led Zeppelin. Take my hand, child, come with me. As soon as those lyrics started, my entire body had goosebumps from head to toe. It was like, oh fuck. Asking you shall receive. So I freaked out, and I had air freshener because my wife didn't like the smell of marijuana. She didn't like me on marijuana. She didn't like anything about it. That's the reason we're not together. And so I sprayed myself with Febreze and inside, went upstairs and tucked myself in bed, and I'm like freaked out, and I'm like, okay, don't tell her, don't freak out, it's all in your head, just don't, it's all in your head. So she goes, you want to sleep? And I'm like, why don't you give me a book to read? She goes, you don't read books. I don't. I'm dyslexic, so I struggle with following like books. I like movies, but I don't like reading books. I haven't read hardly anything. Stuff in school, college, all that shit, but not for fun. So she gave me a Dean Koontz book. Who the fuck he is? And she's like, oh, you might like this one. I'm like, okay. So I open it up, and the first thing it says, I look at her and I go, are you fucking with me right now? And she's like, what? And I'm like, are you messing with me because I'm stoned? Because, you know, it's not cool, but I give you credit if you are. She goes, no, I'm not. So I read the first thing, and it says, on a snowy night in Maine. I look fucking side, and it was snowing. I'm like, so what the fuck? So I kept reading, and my eyes kept on going to like certain numbers and certain things and certain letters, and then there was a name that popped up, Jamie, in the story. And Jamie was my best friend who died when I was in 8th grade. And I'm like, okay, is this Jamie? You know, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, if this is Jamie, give me a sign. Not saying it out loud, just saying it to myself. All of a sudden, laying there, my heart rate started fucking accelerating. Shit that I couldn't do. Just started going really, really fast. And I'm like, okay. And as soon as it went really fast, I'm like, what the fuck? And then it just instantly stopped. And it went to calm. Now, again, me being stoned, thinking that maybe it's a physiological effect of the marijuana. I don't know. Never had that before. So I told my wife, I said, I'm going to sleep. I'm going for a walk with Jesus. As soon as I said it, it was unlike me. She's like, what did you say? And I said, I'm going for a walk with Jesus. So that night, I went to sleep, and I woke up. I closed my eyes, and I woke up, and I was laying in a bed. It wasn't my bed. It was a canopy bed, and it was in like a log cabin almost. And I could see at the log cabin, I could see like on the walls, there was these pictures, and there was this red string that was attached to these pictures. So I got up and I walked closer, but as I walked closer, it got darker, and sudden noises started coming from the outside. There was something didn't want me to see it. So I moved a little bit closer, and I could see it was pictures of me as a boy, you know, pictures that I didn't know existed. And then there was a little red line attached to it, and then there was a picture of me older, and a little red line attached, and another one, and another one, and another one, all the way around the room. I didn't know what that was, you know. And then I heard a voice, and it was a man's voice. It didn't scare me, it calmed me. It said that when it snows, that's your protection. You'll feel calm. You won't feel scared. Fear is an illusion. I'm here to help you. I'm here to guide you. I'm here to assist you. And it started to snow in the room. And I felt this peace and this relief all over me. Nothing, you know. So then I went outside, and the path was lit. As I walked, it was lighting up. And there was another cabin house from a distance, and I walked to it. And when I got to it, I went to open the door, and the door was locked. And I hear their voice say, look in your left hand. I look down at my left hand, there's a key. So I put the key in the lock, open the lock, open the door, and as soon as I opened the door, I woke up. I woke up and I decided that that was it for pharmaceuticals. I was done. I stopped them all. Told my wife that taking 9 pills, blood pressure, cholesterol, anxiety, depression, pain, muscle relaxers, oxy. I stopped them all. She was an office manager at a doctor's office, and of course, freaked out, went against it, and left. No, pretty much after that. Because she told me that if I quit my pharmaceuticals, that's going to affect her diet, and she can't eat the stuff that she wants because I'm going to eat healthy, and, how dare I, that's selfish of me, she said. Okay. Then I started reading the Bible more and started to realize that when you mention the Bible to non-believers, you push them away. It's actually a gift. It's a gift. It sucks, but it's a gift because I lived in a world that no one believed the Bible, so as soon as I started believing it, everyone disappeared. And here we are. No one's around. So I start talking to you people because I have no one to talk to that wants to talk about anything that I say with the Bible. No one cares. None of my friends, none of my romantic partners, none of them. I've always been with non-believers. I've never been with a believer. So I don't know what that's like. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard every day. It's hard. And you just want to, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's like you just want people to wake up. Since I quit all the pharmaceuticals and went on the marijuana, it's alienated me from everyone in my life. I have to trust the path that I'm on. I have to trust that this journey that I'm on with the medical marijuana since 2015 is going to end positively. I'm just not ever at a spot that I'm going to give up on it. It's intertwined with the Bible now. Genesis 1:2-9 says that God says, I give you all the herbs, I give you all the plants, these are your food for your body. Not supplements, not vitamins, not pharmaceuticals. Plants, herbs, cannabis. Acts 4:20. 4:20 is slang for marijuana. Genesis 32:30 is the pineal gland. The pineal gland is the third eye. It's where Jacob says that he wrestled with God and lived. Jake was my only son's name. So, Jacob, if you ever understood, if you ever wondered, questioned where your name came from, now you know. It's the pineal gland. It's the third eye. It's all the stuff that I tried to tell you and scared the fuck out of you, I guess. I don't know. My mom told me that I scared my kids, and they don't understand. They don't understand. They don't understand when their dad went from a non-believer to a believer and changed. When you're born again, John 3:7, you're born again. You're not the same person. And unfortunately, you can't force people to be born again. You can't force people to want to know the truth and understand their mission, why they came here. That's the hardest part of this whole thing, is letting go of my once so-called family and realizing that, realizing that you're alone. It's hard. It's hard. So now I just focus on my body. I work out. I think I'm done with tattoos. I had a bad reaction to my chest piece. It put me into a CRPS flare that it's not good. That means I'm in bed for like 22 hours out of the day, and I try to do Mental health is the #1 cause of disability in the world, and here I'm in bed 22 hours a day, most days. Today went to Wendy's and in the car my legs go fall asleep. And I get out, I can't walk. It's just laying down is comfortable. My body is healed laying down all those years. So standing up is difficult. Standing up is difficult because I close my eyes and I'll fall down. I got balance issues and it's surgical issues. I didn't have the problem before surgery. They didn't say it was surgery error. Of course, they won't admit doing anything wrong. But I became 100% disabled in 2012. So I became disabled in 2013, but it was retro back to 2012 when I filed. Because I filed in, I think it was in June of 2013. It was approved in December of 2013. And benefits started. But they went retro back to 2012. The day that I was let go from my pharmaceutical company, coming back from family medical leave, relocating to South Fort Myers, Florida, I was let go. Told, here's $35,000. Thanks for your service. Thanks for your being a trainer. Thanks for all this money we invested in you. We don't care. That's the pharmaceutical model. So my pharmaceutical loyalty it's non-existent. I didn't retire from Takeda Pharmaceuticals. Takeda Pharmaceuticals laid me off, unlawfully laid me off. And if I didn't have a family and kids to support, I would have fought them and won millions of dollars because what they did was wrong. And I would have made an example out of them just to prove that you can't treat people like that. I'm still going to do that to the pharmaceutical industry. That's my goal. That's my goal. My goal is to expose the pharmaceutical industry for exactly what they are. Cash cow. Take away money. That's the thing. When pharmaceutical companies run out of money, they fold. The generic drug market. People are codependent. People think that all they need is pharmaceuticals, doctors, and prescriptions. Is that all you need, America? Is that all you want? I don't care, because I don't take any of that. So I don't take any pharmaceuticals. I'll never take another pharmaceutical again. As God is my witness, I will never take another pharmaceutical again. In pill format or shot format, no. Not doing it. I don't give a fuck what they say. I don't go to the doctor. So I have a nurse practitioner that writes my medical marijuana card, and that's it. That's all I need. I could get my Medicare physicals. I've had Medicare since 2012, but what's the point? What's the point of going in and wasting money on something where they don't do anything? It's just they say they do a physical. My last 2 times I've been in there, I've been 10 minutes, and they're billing how much money? The healthcare system is, take away pharmaceuticals, and you guys need to rethink about what you do, because doctors, are all you do is trained on medication management. 4 years of medical school to learn how to write prescriptions seems like a lot. Seems like a stretch when PA or NP can do the same thing in 2 years. Let's be honest, they don't even do it in 2 years. You got like 1 year classroom and 1 year clinicals. And the rotations are only good as the people that you're with. I've met some new physicians, assistants, and new nurse practitioners that just started that had no fucking idea about what drugs to use. And they said, that's what I was there for. I'm like, didn't you learn this? They're like, we only get taught what people are people that we're with. And if people don't use certain drugs, then how the fuck are we supposed to learn? There's 20,000 drugs that are currently on the market for the FDA for providers to use for sickness and whatever they use them for. 20,000. You realize since 2012, synchronicity is when I became disabled, but since 2012 to 2022, that 10-year period, 14,000 drugs were recalled by the FDA. 14,000 once approved drugs by the FDA going through the clinical trials, going through all that nonsense. They were all approved. And then, just magically, they were discontinued. That's 4 a day. 14,000 over 10 years, 4 fucking drugs a day. Think about those drugs. That's mental health drugs. That's antihypertensive drugs. That's cholesterol drugs. That's all these fucking new symptoms and these new drugs that you see, ask your doctor about, these are these things. In the legislative branch of Congress, 535 of you people, how many of you people received pharmaceutical contributions? See, I'm a big believer that the government system is okay. The 3 branches are okay. The people suck, and the people need to be replaced. We need to put people in there that have a salary and don't receive any fringe benefits. Therefore, there's no such thing as political corruption, because if you have a salary, then you're not going to receive donations for your campaign, right? Exactly. You have a salary. Everyone has a salary. Donald Trump's $400,000 a year. Why is he worth? He says he's worth $8 billion. I bet that's a lie too. He's the only man that I know that could run casinos into the ground. What type of businessman is that? I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted. I just read some of the sexual assault charges against this person, and I'm just disgusted. You're blocked from my mind. I don't even Google anything that you say anymore. So it's just you're showing your character. You're showing the character of your man, of who you are, and you're not a type of man that I want to associate with. So good luck to you. You don't fucking give a shit about me anyway, so I'm censored, so it doesn't really fucking matter. I'm just talking to myself. What am I gonna do? Go inside and watch fucking TV, drink some Bud Light. I picked up some Bud Light today. It's just weird. I bought some Bud Light at Dice Rats today, and I get home, and the born on date says July 14th, 2025. It's fucking today. So what are the odds that that Bud Light was made today, labeled today, packaged today, put at the fucking store today, and I buy it today, and it's July 14th. I'll take a picture of it and post it, because what the fuck? I bought a lottery ticket just because I'm like, what the fuck? That's weird. The born on date is today. How can the born on date be today and be in the cooler and come from the factory and come from being made? Unless there's a Bud Light factory in Bangor, Maine, which if there is, I'm gonna fucking find that place. I'm bored. I'm bored with tarot readers. So I'm making videos now because I'm bored of listening to other people. I pointed out synchronicity to people, Bible synchronicity, and people don't care, so I'm done with you. I'm bored. So I'm going to continue working out. I'm going to continue making posts, and one day this is going to turn around just like that. I know that. And I'm confident that it is, and that's all I got. All I've got is time. I got time. I've got time. I paid off all my bills. I've got no bills. I've got fucking money coming in. I'm debt free. I've got the car paid off. Everything's paid off. So now what? What's the next fucking challenge? I'm saving $2,000 a month. For what? My income hasn't changed. I've just learned how to make my income work for me. I went from $150,000 a year to fucking $30,000 a year. And I've been at $30,000 a year for the last 15 years. I make it work. You know how I make it work? Because I budget. I pay the widow that I live with $1,200 a month, every month. Why? And the house is paid off. I do it because I'm a man. I do it because I feel like I'm not going to live someplace for free. I'm not going to live someplace and eat food for free. Fuck that. I get $3,000 a month, I'm going to pay fucking $1,200 a month for rent. That's a man. That's what a man does. It's her house. It's not my house. It's her house. It's her car. I have my car. My car's in the Challenger. Our money's separate. She makes $250,000 a year. So what? I don't care. Money doesn't mean anything to me. Money is a tool. Money is a tool to get what you need and what you want. We go on trips, go on vacation, the house is paid off, cars are paid off. We're coming into our best life. And that's what I'm trying to explain to you. I'm coming into my best life. I'm 52 years old. I have CRPS. I've had all those surgeries. I'm done with that old energy. I'm never going back to that energy. So my energy from 52 years old to 120 years old, as long as God says that I'm going to be here, because the Bible says, God says my spirit will rest with man for 120 years. I'm going to do everything I can physically for my body to be there. And I'm going to do everything I can to show you guys that the cannabinoid system is real. And it's been real, and people have known about it since 1960. That's the chosen people, the Jews, the Jewish people. 1960. Scientists over there discovered that are inside your body, throughout, everywhere, brain, vertebrae, reproductive organs. Cannabis, THC. Fuck the other 400 compounds, the plant compounds. THC is the number one. That's what you need. You can't spell healthcare without THC. You know, the government wants to fuck around with CBD too. No, fuck it. Just go with THC. You get everything you need. Been on it for that long, and I'm 6'6", 222 pounds. If that wasn't correct, then I wouldn't be this. My body wouldn't look like this. But it does. It does. Doctors don't even know why. My doctor looked at me and said, "Why the fuck? You don't know what I do here." And I go, "I do know what you do here. You manage prescriptions. I don't take any. So what do you want to talk about?" And he laughed. He's like, "You're not like my other patients." I go, "I know that. I educated you on drugs. You know, on the pharmaceuticals. I sold the pharmaceuticals. I was all for the pharmaceuticals and people being on them. Then I had a bad experience where I became disabled. So I had to learn that either I'm going to go down with the pharmaceuticals, and honestly, if I was still on pharmaceuticals, I would not be here. I'd be dead because I was on fentanyl patches, and I would be dead. I came off the fentanyl patches because I had a bad experience, and I was like tasting colors, and I said, nope, I'm not going to do any more. Came off in it, cold turkey. Came off in it, 3 days, detox. People tell you that they can't detox. They can. They're weak. They're weak in the mind. You know, mental health is the number one leading cause of disability in the world. That's facts. People are weak in the mental mind because we've got science behind them saying take a pill. We've got a pill to manage these symptoms. Pills don't fix anything. You know, you've got to take the pill every day. That's what they don't tell you. You don't go on depression pills for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 years. You know, you're codependent. Once you start it, you have to go back to it, or you progress to something else, and then they label you with, you know, some other label, some other mental health label. There's a bunch of them out there. Does that defy you? Are you going to use that as a crutch and just tell everyone that, hey, I have, you know, whatever. My mom's been diagnosed, had bipolar, and I've lived with that and grown up with that since I've been 5 years old. So I've seen the bad sides of depression. I've seen her in bed for 3 days straight, not doing anything. Us kids, you know, my brother having to fend for ourselves for dinner because she couldn't function. I've seen that. I understand that. I understand that she's on medicine that keeps her at a place that's level, that she doesn't slip back, and that's what medicine is supposed to do. Keep you at that spot until, if you can't do it yourself, it's supposed to keep you at that spot so you don't slip any lower. Most people never understand that because most people don't have the mental fortitude to, you know, put the effort into themselves. You know, people are very fast to put effort into everything else, but when it comes to putting effort into yourself, no. I mean, look at obesity. Obesity has increased by 60% since 1975. There's no reason for it. There's no reason for it because in that same time period, education has also increased. More people today have college degrees than any other time in the world, yet more people are obese. So what's the common denominator? Intelligence, laziness, pharmaceuticals, all the above. See, we live in a world where you say that the average person says, oh, I like the dad bodies, I like the mom bodies, I like the fat people, I like whatever. I don't know. It's 44 minutes, and I'm only going to say this. I mean, you're either you believe in Jesus or you don't. If you believe in Jesus, Romans 12:1. That's your come to Jesus meeting. That's your standing in the mirror, looking at yourself, saying live, looking at yourself, saying lived backwards is devil. Look at your body image. Are you your higher self or are you your lower self? You know, that's it. Simple as that. You don't need anyone else to coach you or to tell you. Just look in the mirror and say, Spirit, please make me my higher self. Holy Spirit, please make me my higher self. Holy Spirit is a gift to you from Jesus Christ. So as soon as you accept Jesus Christ, instantaneously you get the gift of the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit will change you. That's when you're born again. Because the Holy Spirit guides you. You know, final destination stuff. More of, if you fuck around and you eat the wrong stuff, you'll find out. Same with, you know, it's going to guide you. You're going to be guided. Spiritual. I'm spiritual. That's a true meaning of I am spiritual. I am that I am. There's two. There's always two. That's why Jesus always said, talked in parables and always repeated himself. There's two. I am that I am. I live. Devil, I. I don't know. This is fucking useless. It's 46 minutes. I'm going to go to 47 because 47 seems like a good number. What was that guy that wrote 47 in the seashells? That was funny. That's intelligence. That's I like that. People talking without speaking is what they said. The sound of silence. I don't know, I like making these videos, and I'm going to continue making these videos unless you censor my channel. If you delete my channel, then I don't know what I'll do, because I don't post on Meta or Instagram anymore. You know, you guys had your chance, and I'll never use you again, so deuces. I don't do well being disrespected by people. Spiritually, I don't do well with that. Spiritually, that should concern you.